Hello, my name is Harry, and today I'm going to be talking about the Chinese Civil War, which is one of those confusing wars that did not start from point A and end at point B, but was split into sections, for instance from 1927 to 1936, and then it restarted in 1945 and continued until 1949. The Chinese Civil War was a result of the fall of China's last dynasty, the Qing dynasty, in 1911, when it was replaced by a democratic China. It started devolving into an authoritarian state as warlords started getting land and slowly gaining in their own state. In 1927, a large group of Chinese Marxists, inspired by the Russian Revolution, started the Civil War. But back then it was very much unorganized guerrilla fight against a much larger force, nationalist China, under the leadership of Chiang Kai-shek. The Civil War continued, and in one of the most amplified part of the war was the Long March. They marched from central China near China's sea back to the Shanxi province, going from about 200,000 soldiers to 2,000 soldiers, with lots of acts of bravery and self-sacrifice. For instance, there was one event where a bridge was set on fire by Kuomintang forces. That's the name of the political party in nationalist China. But nevertheless, the People's Republic of China, which was the name of the communist group, sent soldiers over who either fell to their death, burned, or managed to survive and fight off the nationalists, and getting the bridge intact. But in one event that is completely ironic, a young student, Mao Zedong, had joined the army and had rose to prominence. But the war had made him incredibly sadistic, executing any villager who did not swear allegiance to the People's Free Army. In one of those events that is also filled with irony, in the Long March, every single main Chinese leader died, except for Mao Zedong. And many people flocked to the Shanxi province, which became a stronghold for communists in China, only to find that it wasn't not communist, it was not fair. It was incredibly caste divided. You were, if you were a certain level, you got certain foods and clothing, and Mao Zedong trounced around with like a woolen clothes imported from nationalist China, while other people starved. The Civil War continued with the fortification of Shanxi and tons of different attacks and guerrilla fights and grueling battle until the Japanese invaded China in late 1936. This united the warlords, the nationalists, and the People's Republic against the Chinese. And though there were some disagreements between the communists and the nationalists near to the end of the war, it was more or less one united Chinese front against the Japanese. As the war came to a close, though, the communists started to gain more ground, and when the war did end, military bases in northern China, which had been occupied by the Soviets, were given to the communist Chinese, and the following year, in 1946, the Civil War started again, with the nationalist Chinese only gaining support from the small arms supply from the United States. But unlike the Civil War in the 1920s, the nationalists were routed and fled to exile in in Taiwan, and they still claim that they're the Republic of China, and on 1949, Mao Zedong declared the People's Republic of China. This is how China was. This is how the China we know and love today was formed. But Mao Zedong, as I said, was sadistic, and through his reign, executed loads of economic policies that resulted in millions of people starving. And throughout the entire Civil War, around 10 million people died. In total, about 10 million people died. I hope you like this video. Please subscribe. Bye.